Hello my dear students. So today we'll start with the new topic that is chapter 5. So today we'll go to next chapter, that is chapter 5, complex numbers and quadratic equations. First we will see what is complex numbers, because quadratic equations you have already studied in your SSLC. But still first we will catch hold of complex numbers, then we will head up to quadratic equations. Okay. Now what is complex number? This is a very new chapter for you, right? You have not studied or you have not come across anything like complex numbers, okay? But by seeing the heading itself you should get idea. Complex means what? To difficulty, right? So difficult numbers. Like now you have studied about linear equations, right? Linear equations with one variable, two variables you have studied. Yes, one variable, two variable, you have studied your linear equations. Even you have studied your quadratic equations. Quadratic equations means yours ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? So I have studied about this. Now suppose you have equation x square plus 1, okay, x square plus 1 0. So this is a quadratic equation, right? It is a quadratic equation. Now while solving, how you do? X square you take, plus 1 you take it to the right hand side, right? So it becomes 0 minus 1. So what you get? X square is equal to minus 1 you get. So what we get? X square is equal to minus 1, right? And we stop here. And we know that square of every real number is non-negative, right? Every real number, it is non-negative. Like if we take minus 1 square, if we do, what we get? Plus 1. So here if I take the square here on the side, means squaring, if I do, this becomes our x, and here it comes what? Root of minus 1, right? And root minus 1, does it exist? Does have some number and all, anything? No, right? For such problems to solve, they have introduced complex numbers. Okay, for this such large system and all, they need complex number. For such cases they have where you can't express it, okay, such numbers when you get, when you can't express it, we will go with the help of our complex numbers. So the main objective is this quadratic equation. We have ax square plus bx plus c, and where your d is what? B square minus 4ac negative. Okay, you have studied about positive, not negative. Okay, this is not possible in real number system, right? In real number system, negative parts is not possible, so this part is not possible in that. So this part comes under your complex numbers. In complex number, how we solve it? In complex number, how we solve it? We will see. In complex number, your root of minus 1, this is denoted as I. Okay, this is taken as symbol I. Now, and if you take I square is what? Minus 1, right? Minus 1 is your I square. How come? See, this is root of minus 1 is equal to I. We are taking squaring on both the side. If we do squaring on both the side, so this what becomes? Root minus 1 whole square. I am squaring it, right? And here also it will be what? I square. So this root get cancels, remaining is what? Minus 1, which is equal to I square. So I square is equal to minus 1. These all terms you should remember. This is on the, okay, this means that I is the solution of this question. Okay, I is the solution. What you get? X square is equal to minus 1, right? So here x square plus 1 is equal to 0. Its solution is what? I. You get I, and I comes under your complex number. Understood? Complex number means this imaginary part, we call it. I means imaginary part. In your complex numbers, real numbers in the form of a plus ib, it will be real numbers in the form of a plus ib, where your a represents real number, okay, and your b represents imaginary number. It is with I. Okay, it is with I, so this is termed as imaginary number and this is termed as real number. For example, now if I have 3 plus I4, okay, 3 plus I4, here 3 is what? Real number, and here 4 is your imaginary number. Understood? Your complex number will be always in the form of a plus ib. How was your linear equations, your quadratic equations, how it was? Ax square plus bx plus c, right? This was a quadratic equation. Your linear was x plus 1 is equal to 0. This was your linear with one variable, your quadratic equation. So this is your a plus ib form is your complex number. This is your quadratic, this is your linear, this is your complex. So we are gonna study about that only, and it has some properties. Algebraic conditions. Algebraic conditions means what? Your positive, negative, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything, and in that also some properties will hold. So all that we will see. Okay. So you can write chapter 5 complex number. First we will study complex number. Definition, which I said you same. Number of the form a plus ib where a and b are real numbers is defined to be a complex number. Okay. Your a, b both will be real number, but when it will be in terms of, when it will be in the form of this, okay, when you are denoting it, when you are telling which is real number, which is imaginary, then you have to tell only this is real and this is imaginary. Okay. For example, say 2 plus I3 minus 1 means what? I square, this I have taken here, minus 1 plus I root 3 plus 4 of I minus 1 upon 11. If you can see, these all are real numbers only, right? 3 is also real number, root 3 is also real number, even this is real number, but they are, it is linked with I. Okay, it is linked with I. For that case, this you don't write. Okay, root of minus 1 and all, just take that part. Root of minus 1 is equal to I, you can write that. So minus 1 plus I root 3 and all. Examples. For the complex number z is equal to a plus ib, here a is called real part, as I have said you, and it is denoted by real part of z, means we are taking this now, z is equal to a plus ib we are taking. So real part of z is a, imaginary part of z is b, like this we will write. Okay. Please pause the video to note it down. B is called imaginary part and it is denoted as INZ. Real is denoted as REZ. Okay. For example, I have taken C. Z is equal to 2 plus I5. Here 2 is what? Okay. 2 is equal to real part of Z. 5 is equal to imaginary part of Z. Right. Here 2 is real part of Z and 5 is imaginary part of Z. Understood? Now, if two complex numbers, okay, if they have given two complex numbers, if they are equal, how it will be? A is equal to C, B is equal to D. If equal complex numbers means it will be real numbers equating with real, imaginary numbers equating with imaginary. For example, I have taken C. If 4x plus I of 3x minus y is equal to 3 plus I of minus 6, okay, x, y are real numbers, okay, x, y real numbers, find x, y they are telling. So here what we have to do, we have this 4x plus I of 3x minus y is equal to 3 plus I of minus 6. Now according to this, what you have to do, A is equal to C, B is equal to D. A and C are what? A and C are real numbers only, right? See, here real numbers, B and D are imaginary. So equating real and imaginary parts. So here real number is what? 4x and here real number is 3. So 4x is equal to 3. So x I get 3 by 4, right? X value I have got 3 by 4. Equating imaginary, here imaginary number is what? 3x minus I. 3x minus I. You have to take only 3x minus I, okay? Don't take I along with that because you are equating it. Okay, you are equating means you are tallying both the things. Is equal to, here is what only? Minus 6. so minus 6. From here you have x value, right? Substitute here x value. So I have substituted x value is what? 3 by 4 minus y is equal to minus 6. 3 3s are 9 by 4. See, this 6 I have taken here, y I have taken, that's it, because like terms I am grouping at 1. 9 by 4, if 6 comes here it becomes plus 6 and minus y goes here, it becomes plus y. So y is equal to what you have, 9 by 4 plus 6. I don't have space here, so I am again writing down. We have to take LCM. Here LCM is what? 4. 4 is the LCM. So 9 plus, here it is 1, 6 4 is how much? So you get 9 plus 24 is 33 by 4. So therefore your y value what you have got, 33 by 4. So you got your x value and y value. Okay. If you do simultaneous equation also, it is your wish. So therefore x value is 3 by 4 and y is equal to, can't say this, y is equal to 33 by 4. Whenever they tell, okay, they are equal and you have to find some x y, means you have to equate like this, equating your real numbers, equating your imaginary numbers. Okay. Now we are going to study algebra of complex numbers. As I have said, you in algebra means it will be what? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, your division. Okay. First we will see your addition. Addition what? See, now we are doing addition, means you need two complex numbers only. For suppose if you have two complex numbers, for example it is 2 plus I3, okay, adding it is, right, suppose this is Z1 and you have Z2 is equal to minus 6 plus I5, okay, minus 6 plus I5, this is your Z1 and this is your Z2. Now they are telling addition. Addition means what you have to do? You have to add, right? So you have to do what? Z1 plus Z2. So how you will add? See, 2 plus I3 plus of even this is minus term, it is here. So here I have written minus 6 plus I5. So what I am doing? Just writing it properly. 2 plus I3, see, plus into minus is minus 6, plus into plus is plus I5. Now what I am doing? All like terms combining. See, 2 and 6 in 1, this 3, 5 with your imaginary part 1 part. So 2 minus 6 in one bracket plus this both. I can take common, so I have taken common. Left is what? 3, 5. So 3 plus 5. So what I will get? 2 minus 6 is minus 4 plus I, okay, plus I. 5 plus 3 is 8. So what you will get? Minus 4 plus I8. That is your Z1 plus Z2. This means your addition, right? This is your addition. In this again you have properties. In this you have closure. Closure law means what? Closure is the sum of two complex number is a complex number. Now this here I have got Z1 plus Z2, right? So Z1 plus Z2 is also a complex number. Z1 is Z2 complex number. For all complex numbers which are Z1 and Z2, if these both are complex number, means its sum is also complex number. This is called as closure law. Commutative law is what? Commutative law, if for two complex number you have Z1 plus Z2, okay, this will be equal to Z2 plus Z1, right? For example, if I write 4 plus 3, this is equal to 3 plus 4, right? This is only our commutative law. Then you have associative law. Associative law, how we write? Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3, okay. So bracket comes for first Z1 plus Z2. This is equal to again Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. Bracket here comes for Z2 and Z3, right? If I write here 4 plus 3 plus 5, this is equal to 4 plus 3 plus 5, like this. First adding this plus this, even like this. This is called as associative law. First grouping this, keeping your third term. In this, keeping your first term, second and third will be grouping. This is your associative law. Then one more, you have additive identity for this. You call it as additive identity or zero complex. Here additive identity is what? 0, okay, for your complex number z. Like for your z plus 0 is equal to what you get? Z itself, right? For example, here I am writing 3 plus 0. If I write what I get, 3 plus 0 is 3 only, right? So here 0 acts as additive identity. Additive identity. Then in this fifth one is additive inverse. Additive inverse, it is denoted as minus z. Like if you your complex number is z, its inverse will be minus z. Additive, that means additive means what? Plus only, right? Add, okay. Addition inverse. So z plus of minus z, what you will get? Z plus into minus is minus z. Z into minus z is 0 only. Like if you have your z is a plus ib, right? You can't see here, I will write here. Your z is equal to a plus ib. So your minus z will be what? Minus a minus ib, right? Minus a plus of I, this will be minus b. Like additive inverse will be negative. Positive means this becomes a negative. So these are your properties in your addition. I'll give you the definitions. Some I'll not write, but I'll show in the textbook. You write all that, whichever I'll mark it, just write it in your notes. So write first this algebra of complex number. First is addition of complex numbers. Let z1 is equal to a plus ib, z2 is equal to c plus id be any two complex numbers. Then the sum z1 plus z2 is defined as z1 plus z2 is equal to a plus c plus I of b plus d, which is again a complex number. For example, which I have given, you have written the same 2 plus I3 plus minus 6 plus, I don't have a space, so directly I have written, okay. I didn't write that stepwise. If you want, you can write first, take your z1, take this z2, then z plus 1, write everything, okay. 2 minus 6, real I have taken, then plus I taking common, and 3 plus 5, so you get minus 4 plus I8, okay. Write this. After writing, you write this part, the addition of complex numbers satisfying following properties, or you just write properties, okay. Write the heading just as properties. After this, write the properties, write heading as properties, okay. After your definition of complex number, then write this properties which all I said you, okay. Closure, your commutative, your associative, your existence of additive inverse, existence of additive inverse, okay. Write this everything up to here. Start from here and up to here you write. Closure, just underline like this. Closure law you write and underline. Commutative law, associative law, existence of additive inverse, existence of additive identity, additive inverse. Just if some may doesn't have textbook, I am showing it. If anyone has textbook, then okay. Just pause it to note down, okay. Sorry for the background disturbance, but I can't help you. Can't help in that noise. Write this everything, okay. Up to here you write. Pause the video to write to make down the notes, okay. After writing the properties of additions, now we head up to difference of two complex number. Same way you have to write. Difference means what? Subtraction, right? So let z1, z2 write it, be any two complex numbers, okay. Then the difference is given as how? Z1 minus Z2. It is defined as Z1 minus Z2 is equal to A plus C minus I of B plus D. For example, I have taken 6 plus 3I minus 2 minus I. So how we do? 6 minus 2, group it 1 in one bracket, okay. In both the thing I is common, plus I you take, okay, like additive you take it, plus I, then here remaining is 3 and here you have minus 2, okay. Or else if you don't understand like this means you can write like this, see, z1 plus of minus z2, like this you can write. So this is the same what I have written, okay, this is the same what I have written. In this form if you want to write means this will be written as 6 plus 3I, okay. No, this only if you want, I will show you 6 plus 3 you can write, then plus of minus 2 plus I, okay, you can write in this form also, and then you can do like this if you don't understand how I have taken here. Plus I have taken common from both, then 3 here remains minus 2, 6 minus 2 is 4 plus I, 3 minus 2 is 1, right. So 4 plus I, so answer is 4 plus I. If you don't understand directly, then you can take like this, z1 plus minus z2 you can take, then your z1 term you write, plus you write, and here z2 they have given as minus of 2 minus I. So if you multiply minus I, minus 2, and this becomes plus I, so we have written like this, minus 2 plus I, okay. This is your difference of two complex numbers. Here there is no properties, we will head up to multiplication, okay. Next is multiplication. Just write this, pause the video to note it down. So next is our multiplication of two complex number. So same definition, that z1 is equal to a plus ib, z2 is equal to c plus d, be any two complex numbers. Product how we do? z1 into z2, right? z1 into z2, same be any two complex numbers. Product how it will be given? z1 into z2, right? z1 into z2, it is defined as, how it is defined? z1 into z2 is equal to ac minus bd, a into c minus b into d, okay. Again plus imaginary, this was your real first, plus I, a into d plus b into c, like this you have to do it. For example, I have taken c, 3 plus I5 into z, 2 plus I6. This is product how we do, a into c, here a is what? 3, if you want you write here, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 5, c is equal to 2, d is equal to 6. You have written your numbers. Now do z1 into z2 is equal to what? A into c, a into c, 3 into 2 minus b into d, b into d, b is what? 5 into 6, okay, plus I, a into d, a into d, that is 3 into 6 plus b into c, 5 into 2. So you have to remember how we have to multiply, okay, remember it. I think a little bit lightning problem, I guess. 3 2s are 6 minus 5 6 are 30 plus I of 6 3s are 18, 5 2s are 10, 6 minus 30 is minus 24 plus I, 18 plus 10 is 28. So you get minus 24 plus I, 28. Understood how we have to do product? Now here also you have properties. Again I will show you what all to write. Just write down. I will not write it. I will mark and show you. Pause the video to note it down, students. So in this properties also we have closure, same properties it will be. In closure, product of two complex number is also a complex number. If your z1, z2 are complex numbers, then its product is also complex number. Then we have commutative law. Commutative law is what? Z1 into Z2 is equal to Z2 into Z1. Same with associative, you will be having Z1 into Z2 into Z3. So first bracket we give for first two, second is Z1 into Z2 into Z3, and here bracket comes to the last two. Okay, this is equal to this. In addition, you had additive identity. Here you will be having multiplicative identity. Here multiplicative identity will be what? Z into 1 we get Z itself, right? For example, 4 into 1 is what? 4 only. This same, okay, there in your addition what you had? 4 plus 0 you would get 4. In addition, 0 was the additive identity, and in multiplicative it is 1. Okay, here the multiplicative inverse for Z, it will be 1 by Z or Z raised to minus 1 you should give. This is called as inverse. Okay, 1 by Z can be written as Z raised to minus 1, right? Here see, it will be plus 1. When it goes up it becomes minus 1. So this Z, okay, so this 1 by Z, it is given as how? A by A plus A square plus B square plus I of B by A square plus B square. So these are the properties of your multiplication. Same, I'll show you what all to write. I'll mark it. Just this was that only, just main points I just explained you. It is very easy, I know you have understood still. Okay, here one thing you should remember, in this here A should not be equal to 0 and even B should not be equal to 0. Okay, as I've said you, if you take here 0, this will be not defined only, right? It will be infinity. So in denominator it will be, so your A also should not be equal to 0, even B also should not be equal to 0. So after writing this, write like this: properties. Okay, write the heading properties, write the heading properties. Okay, and then write all this from here up to here. Even one more law you have, distributive, I didn't explain you till here you write. Okay, so distributive is nothing, Z1 into Z2 plus Z3 means multiplying Z1 into Z2 plus Z1 into Z3. Okay, Z1 into Z2 plus Z1 into Z3. Here if it is for Z1 plus Z2 into Z3, it is means again multiplying Z1 into Z3 plus Z2 into Z3. This is your distributive law. In this one distributive law comes. Okay, so write from here your closure law first. I hope you can see everything. Just pause the video to note it down. Okay, see now if you can see properly. Pause the video to note it down. Okay, so next is division of two complex numbers. Same, given two complex numbers Z1 and Z2, where your Z2 should not be equal to 0. Why? Because quotient, how we write? Z1 by Z2, right? Quotient will be division. This is defined as how? Z1 by Z2. This you can write as Z1 into Z2 will be 1 by Z2 only, right? Z1 into 1 is Z1 only. Z1 by Z2, it is one and the same. For example, how we gonna solve this? Z1 I have taken 6 plus I3, Z2 2 minus I. So this shouldn't be equal to 0. Okay, as I have said you, see, if Z1 by Z2, if Z2 is equal to 0, if suppose this Z2 is equal to 0, what you will get? Z1 by 0, and anything divided by 0 is infinity, which means not defined. Yes, you have studied this in your trigonometric charts, where you get, right, sine 90, sorry, not in sine, cos, I guess in tan, cot, you will get not defined. Not defined means what? It is infinity only. Okay, so we will solve this. So your z1 is what? 6 plus 3i. Your z2 divided by 2 minus i. Either you can write like this, like 6 plus 3i, or like this also you can write, say 6 plus 3i into 1 upon 2 minus i. It is one and the same, right? Now after coming here to this point, how you will solve? You have studied about conjugate. Yes, conjugate means what? In denominator what number you have, okay, of that opposite sign, you should multiply to the numerator and multiply to the denominator, right? Like I have 6 plus 3i divided by 2 minus i. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ? 2 minus i. ಸೊ ಕಾಂಜುಗೇಟ್ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ 2 plus i, even denominator 2 plus i, right? You have studied about this. Now multiply this into this, this into this. After coming here, this you see a minus b, a plus b. Which identity? A minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square, right? This first I will keep as it is, 6 plus 3i into 2 plus i. A is what? 2, so this will be 2 square, okay, minus sign. Here what you have? I, right? Here. So a you have here 2 square and b you have here I, right? Minus sign I square. Now what? Multiply 6 2s are 12 plus 6 into I is 6i plus 3 into 2 6i plus into plus is plus 3 I into I is I square whole divided by 2 square is 4 minus 1. I square is what? I square is minus 1, right? We have studied this. I square is minus 1. Now again 12, here also even I square I can substitute minus 1. So 12, 6 plus 6 is 12 I plus 3 I square is minus 1 whole divided by 4 minus into minus is plus 1. So now I can write 12 minus 3. So how much I get? 12 minus 3 is 9 plus 12i whole divided by 4 plus 1 is 5. See, your z1 by z2 is 9 plus 12i divided by 5. Okay, in division you have to do like this. Here in division always you will make use of your conjugate. Conjugate what it will be? Same number, only sign will be opposite. If it is minus means you should multiply numerator denominator both, okay, both with positive. If here it is plus means you should multiply with minus, both your numerator and your denominator with the same term, with the same number, but only the sign will be opposite. That's it. And here always your identity will be this only, a square minus b square only. Directly you can apply. Whenever you have here any numbers, you can see a minus b, a plus b, directly you have to write this a square minus b square. And always your I square will be minus 1, so you will get here denominator as a real number only. Okay. So this is your division part. Now let's see some other. Please pause the video to note it down. Take down this note of I, power of I, or whatever we call. See, we know that I square is equal to minus 1, right? With the help of this, we find our I cube, our I4, our I raised to 5, so on. Now I cube, how I can split? I can split as I square into I, right? I can split like this only. Now what is my I square? It is minus 1 into my I remains as it is. So minus 1 into I is minus I. So sure, you should always remember I cube is equal to minus I. In the same way, I raised to 4. I raised to 4, how I can split? Either I cube into I or I square, your wish. I cube, what I have got? Minus I, and here I have I. So this minus sign you keep, I into I is I square. Your minus sign is there already, I square is again minus 1. So minus into minus becomes plus 4. So I raised to 4 is plus 4. Okay, like this, so on you can do. Even I raised to 5, here I am writing I raised to 5, you can write I raised to 4 into I, because previously you would be knowing this value of I4, right? So we split like this only. I4 we know that is 1 into I remains as it is, this is your I. Now coming again I raised to 6, how I can write? Either I can write as I5 into I5 is I into I is I square is minus 1, so on you can do like this, etc. Either such a way you can do, or one more method is okay, you can do like this also. See, I raised to 4, 1 I have said you I square you can do, or else you can take like this I square whole raised to square, same, right? 2 2s are 4 only, so I square is what? Minus 1, minus 1 square is plus 1, simple. Even for I raised to 5, how you can take? 2 raised to 2, 1 like this into I you can do. I raised to 6, you can take I square raised to 3, this again you can take I6 I2 raised to 3, you will get the same minus 1 cube is minus 1 only, okay? Or like this you can do, or however easy, however you want you split, you will get the same, you will get the same value. We are just concerned about value, that's it, not about how we are splitting it. Just it is for a general thing, should remember this, that's it. In inverse also we have, see, you have I minus 1, I minus 1 value is I inverse we tell, actually I raised to minus 1 means you should call it as, I am writing here I inverse, you should read it as I inverse, okay? So I inverse, how we write? 1 by I, right? I have said you, if you are writing inverse, this becomes I raised to minus 1, 1 by I raised to inverse is 1 by I. For this what we will do, multiply both numerator and denominator with I, so you get I into 1 is I into I is I square, so I square is minus 1, so minus 1 means it is minus I, so here I inverse you can write it as minus I, okay? You can write it like this. I raised to minus 2, how you can write? 1, this becomes I raised to square, this directly you can write 1 by minus 1, so here you get minus 1, okay? I square, you know your value, I square is minus 1. Here I value we wanted to get it in the form of I square, so we did it in such a way. For odd numbers you can do like this, for your even numbers directly you can write. Even you can have I raised to minus 3, this also I raised to minus 3 means 1 by I raised to cube, this I can write as 1 by I square 1, right? Okay, 1 I can write as 1 by I square into I, okay? Here also if I multiply I, it is 1 and the same, so here I get I square is minus 1 into I is, this is minus I will get, right? Here I will get minus I, just a sec. Okay, instead of splitting this directly I can write, right? Why I am going in such a long? See, I raised to minus 3, how it is? 1 by I raised to cube, 1 by I cube, so I know I cube is what? It is minus I, so again multiplying I by I. For odd numbers do like this, multiply in numerator denominator I, so here you get I, a minus sign, I into I is I square which is minus 1, so you get I, minus into minus plus only, right? So I minus cube is I, even one more will take I minus 4, this is 1 by I raised to 4, so I raised to 4 value we know directly what it is, 1 by I raised to 4 is 1, right? So you get 1, you can do like this directly. You be just writing the number, first convert into in your positive, because you know I square, you know I cube, right? So I inverse, how you have to write? 1 by I value is what? I itself, again numerator multiply with I for your ordered terms. For your I square value is -1, so 1 by -1, it is -1. I cube, I minus cube, you write it as 1 by I cube. So in general, see, in general what you had write, I raised to 4k is what it will be always 1. Means if you take 1, k value, if it is 1 means 4, I raised to 4 is 1, k value is 2 means 8, so I raised to 8 is 1, k value is 3 means 4 3 is 12, so I raised to 12 is 1, always like this. Okay, if you take odd numbers, I k plus 1, 4 plus 1 5, right, I raised to 5 value is what, I. So whenever odd numbers, so you can see in general your I 4k is equal to 1. Okay, when 4k is increased by 1, it becomes I. When 4k is increased by 2, it is -1. When 4k is increased by 3, it is minus I, like that. Okay, your 4k means 8, it comes 12, it comes here, it will be 5, 7, no 5, 9 you get, like that. Okay, put your 1 1 1 1 values, you'll understand. Like here if you put 8, you'll get 1, and here again for k if you put 1, you'll get 5. I raised to 5 is I only, you have proved here in your above, right. Here if you take 4 plus 2 will be 6, I raised to 6 is -1, 4k plus 3, okay, 4 plus 3, I raised to 7, I raised to 7 is minus I you get. Okay, so like this in general you can take this. If you can't remember like this means I have said only you how you can split. If it is I7 means you can do again I raised to 6 into I and then find out, finish, simple. You can do like that also, but this in general, everything about your I you can tell it as power of I. Okay, like this you can tell, and you can note down how it comes. I have shown you everything, your I square, I cube. So this you should remember, your I cube, your I4, your I raised to 5, because sudden we may be using in any of the next chapters. Very this is very useful. Complex numbers is actually a very important topic till your further studies. Even if you go to your PUC 2, after PUC also, wherever you go, complex numbers plays a major role. Okay, it's very important topics. These are the like very minute basics which you should know. Okay, so we will meet in the next class. I hope you have understood this. Write all the notes with whatever I have marked, write everything and complete your notes. Okay, thank you.